Hello everybody, and I see Raven's already here. Hi. So this is episode 30, part 2 of drawing a yellow car. If you haven't seen part 1, I recommend you going back and watching that because we are going to continue doing the drawing we started. If you want to try the Vinci Eye App for free, please send me an email. My email is posted in the description. And let me know if you're using an iOS or an Android, because that does make a difference of what code I need to give you. Things that you might want to know about is that in the Vinci Eye App Facebook group, we are doing a art competition, and the first place will get $100 and the second and third place will get $50. Judges are other artists within the app. So more information on that will be in the Vinci Eye App Facebook group. Anyways, you have until the end of the month to enter that competition. What else? There's nothing else other than that. So let's get started. I'm going to show you a little bit about the app and a few features before we get started in continuing the drawing. So first you're going to go into projects, and then you're going to click onto the project that you're already working on. We're using AR mode, so it automatically realigns for you. And it uses the anchor to I can't think of the word. The anchor to keep it in place, practically tape it down in place. Sorry, I'm having a hard time with words today. And you can move it around, enlarge it, shrink it, turn it side to side, so you can see the outlay, like the layout before you even draw, which is really good for a lot of things. If you accidentally move something out of place, you can just press the reverse button and it will get back to where it was before. Some features that I love about the app is strobe, which we're going to be using a lot of during this video. So what I do is I increase the opacity to the fullest, which will let you see the reference photo compared to your drawing in real time, so you can get all the little details just perfectly, playing spot the difference. Let me just see. Did you get my entry drawing? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I remember I did. Okay. So that we're going to be using a lot of today. You can use, I don't know if grid will work on this. In the classic mode, you can use the grid feature to help square off the edges, or just do the grid method instead of tracing if that's something you want to do. Torch just turns on your own light if you have a poor lighting in your room. Filters, you got a bunch of different filters you can choose from. This one's a really cool one. It inverts the color so that you can do the opposite colors, and then when you use the inverted color filter, it'll go back to normal. It's a really cool thing to do. But there's a bunch of different filters. You can even simplify the image into basic colors if you want, but I don't really use this very often. Let me just gotta stand up and do this because I can't see. Okay, breakdown mode is another one I love to use, especially for black and white drawings. You can adjust the amount of steps. I like the cutout off so that way I can just build up layers to get it darker. And then you can play around with the exposure till you get to exactly where you want it to be. Blur the edges a little bit so that they're smoother if you want to not worry about all the little dots and details that pop up. But yeah. Oh, why is it moving? Record will make you a time-lapse video of your drawing for posting on social media if you'd like. That's pretty easy to do. And then, oh, got out of place again. Just go back. Okay. So as you can see, you can zoom into the fine details, zoom out. And then if you accidentally move your phone out of place, it will stay aligned as long as you're using the AR mode. Okay. Here's a way that I can choose the proper colors for my drawing. So you make color charts. So you fill in each square with its number and name. And then when you compare it to a photo, either printed or on a other device, you can adjust that. You can pick colors to that best match. They don't have to be exact because there's still blending, mixing on the page, doing some more layers of different colors to make it more exact, true to color. But it's not something that you need to worry about too much because nobody's going to really notice if you don't get the exact color of the photo, unless if you have it side by side, then they might see a minor difference. But most of the time when you're showing off your artwork, you don't really show a side by side, unless if you're advertising for commissions. There's also a second way that you can pick your right colors. I don't know if I have it on here. Do I have it on here? We really, really, really want to work with these people, but we don't. It's an app. It's called Colored Pencil Picker. Let me just see here. So right here, it's a little pencil that also kind of looks like one of those color pickers for like an editing app. And then you upload the drawing or the reference you want to draw. And then right where the little black dot is the colors that's going to pop up. So it will show you the number and the name of the pencil you need. It will also give you a number if it's more than one layer that you need. It will say like 2 or 3. And it'll also give you multiple different colors for certain areas. So you see there's 2 layers of this, 1 layer of that, and we're looking for this. I don't know if you can see that very well. But that is one way you can pick colors if you are a little bit nervous about picking colors from just comparing your color swatches to the reference. So, yeah. Oh, I'm losing my stuff. So I'm gonna put this over here and use it as I need it. Okay, I'm gonna go into strobe. Did I do strobe last time? Doesn't matter, either or. I'm going to use strobe so I can see the minor differences between the two. We already did a layer of color earlier. So we're going into a lighter color, which we used a very light yellow, and now it's time to go into just the regular yellow. I'm not going to use exact names for these because you probably have a different pencil set than I do. I just want you to not worry too much about having the exact color. What is the cost? I don't know. I bought it a long time ago and I don't have to pay for it again. I can look that up on here, maybe. No, it's just, it won't let me know because I already have the inches. Let me just double check. Yeah, it looks like it's a one-time purchase. So, I need to sharpen this pencil. You can get a app that is a custom colored pencil picker. So if you go into the app that I showed you earlier and you scroll down, you should be able to see a bunch of different ones that they have. And the custom color would be the one that we're looking at. And then what you need to do to set it up is you take your art set, no matter what medium, you fill out one of these, you scan it so that it is as accurate as possible, and then you need to individually put them into your palette, and you should be able to make as many palettes as you want. Yeah, so it should work. I have used it with paint before and it worked pretty good. So we're doing circular motions, light pressure, and we're going all over the entire door. We're going to work on one section at a time, not the entire car. Just makes it a little less daunting. It is interesting to that other app is pretty interesting. It does take a little bit of patience to get it all set up, but once it's set up, you're good to go. The palettes will stay there until you delete them. So light circular motions. And we're holding the end of the pencil. And we're trying to do like tight circular motions for this. But again, you'd want to be very, very light. Like you can kind of see what you're doing. You're adding more. You can kind of see that you're adding more, but it's very minor differences. We are going to build up the right colors, and then we're going to put pressure on it after to, I think they call it varnishing. I don't know if it's varnishing for paper or if it's just like for drawings or if it's something else, but yeah. Okay, now we're gonna go into like a yellow orange color. And we're just preserving those highlights. The areas in which we are drawing are getting smaller and smaller. Also, we want to preserve the silver areas as well, so don't draw over those. There may be some background noise because school's out and I have a kid home. So I do apologize in advance. Just light pressure, circular motions. We are adding layers. If you put too much pressure on a layer, you won't be able to add any more color to it. Also, if you use too much pressure, you can indent the paper, and then it makes it even harder for you to blend those areas. I am a very busy person, and because of the busyness, I tend to neglect house chores. My husband's pretty good at taking some responsibility for the house as well, so it's not too bad. Okay, I just noticed it's slightly off. That's okay, we haven't done too much yet. I'm just gonna slightly move that back into place as best as I can. It's probably from me moving it around, showing you how to line up some stuff. You see, might need to be slightly bigger. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I think that's good. That looks good. Okay, make sure you press that move button again. That's just from me playing around with it, so yeah, don't stress. That looks much better. Okay. Now we're going into the next darker, more orange than yellow color. And we're just filling in the areas that we can see this color. So I don't know if I said this just now or if I haven't, but I had made a request for the app developer to add a nudge button. So that will just slightly, very, very slightly move the image. So it makes it a little bit easier to get it lined up nicely if it accidentally gets shifted. Yeah, just holding the end of the pencil and light pressure and circular motions. As light pressure as you possibly can. They have the nudge feature for the mural makers, so it shouldn't be too hard to add that in to the Vinci Eye app. My hands are too big to be able to just tiny movements. Okay, now we're going into the orange. Straight up orange. So you see there's a bit of a darker shadow just underneath that highlight. So I'm going to add that orange just underneath there as well. And then I'm going to add another layer. I am going to add a little bit more pressure just to this bottom part here. Not too much more pressure, just a little bit. Don't really think I need a red, but a brown might work for the shadows. And kind of like warm brown. And just bring up this picture again. I think I used sage last, sorry. I didn't mean to say the name because I don't want you guys to stress out about the color. Like a nice warm brown would work. Another idea that I had for another, like doing a live video, was doing a colored portrait or something, a colored drawing with Crayola pencils, because everybody has access to Crayola. Do you think that would be a fun thing to do, trying to do a Crayola drawing? Just light circular motions. I'm holding the end of the pencil so that it makes it harder to put too much pressure on. I am going to add that line between the hood of the car and the door right here before I varnish it. And it honestly, ooh, that's not good. Okay, so it looks black. Sorry, I accidentally hit my hand on a hot surface, which is one of my devices I'm using, which isn't a good sign. So I should probably get that checked out. So I'm using a black. I might actually add a bit of, oh no, I'll just use black. Black's good. Make sure the pencil is sharpened. And it's a very thin line, so try to make it as thin as possible, but nice and smooth. And you're noticing that I am holding it closer to the tip. This gives me a bit more control for finer details. More precision. Okay. Okay, I'm putting quite a bit more pressure. I'm just kind of fixing up the shadow, the edge of this shadow on the other side of that line. Oh, I also need to add a line on the bottom part. So let's do that. Oh, why did I accidentally do that? It got unaligned because I accidentally pushed the move button. That's okay. Let's see if it fixes itself. Probably went too far. Okay, I think that's good. So what you can do here, because this is a straight line, you can mark the one side, mark the other side, take a ruler and then just use the ruler to draw that line. There's a bit of a curve here and another line right here. Okay, we're not going to worry about the line on this side quite yet. We'll do that later. So I'm using that warm brown. This is kind of like an orangey red brown for the shadows. Putting quite a bit more pressure on it than I was earlier. But we want to try to avoid denting the paper, so don't jab it. Still use like the side of the pencil for it. And another thing is you're going to want to try to lighten that pressure a little outwards from those shadows. It gives it a little bit, makes it a little bit more easier to blend it. So just do lighter pressure all the way around it. And now we're going to go in with the orange. You can even go over those dark shadows that we did earlier with a bit more pressure. Just trying to fill in those colors a little bit more, make them more vibrant. You kind of also want to think about matching the door to the hood. making that kind of blend in to make it look like it is part of the same car. So just be aware of that. And then we're going to a dark orange yellow color. I'm still going to go over those dark areas. And do that shadow under that little, what is it called? I want to say pinstripe, but the only thing that I can think of that actually goes with is a type of pattern on a suit. I'm not putting as much pressure as I was on the bottom part, but I still want to add that color to the top of the door here. Redefining those highlights. Putting a little bit of a contrast shadow just underneath that highlight so that highlight pops a little bit more. And then there's another shadow just above that highlight. So I'm gonna trace that line that goes across, trying to preserve the area in where the door handle is. And then we're going to put quite a bit of pressure on the bottom just above it, and then slowly, gradually adjust, like slowly use lighter pressure so it blends a little bit easier. But it is a pretty sharp line just right where it hits the highlight. Then we just want to blend it upwards. I'm just putting a little bit of a little bit of that color just very lightly just above that line we just did, just to soften up the edges. Okay, now for the lighter yellow-orange, more yellow than orange. We're gonna fill in the rest. I'm gonna put quite a bit of pressure right on the shadowed areas that we did over and over again, because I think this is the lightest color in this area. Just using the side of the pencil, kind of holding the pencil closer to the tip instead of the end. So just try not to trace over the black, because black and yellow kind of turn into a green color and we don't really want that. So just get really close to that line, but try not to go over it. Might be a little difficult. And you can really start seeing that color pop. Goes from a nice bright, well, very light color, and then it gets to very vibrant colors. I'm just really trying to fill in all those little white gaps. And again, don't press too hard that the pencil lead will break. And you also don't want to press too hard that you will indent the paper. You just really want to fill in all those little white gaps. And then this top part, I'm going to add the color, but I'm not using as much pressure. I just kind of want it to blend into the next color we're going to use. I'm going to add that color to that shadow that's just above the door handle. Putting quite a bit of pressure at this point. And then I'm also going to blend it upwards. So I'm just doing a little bit of a lighter pressure, nice and tight circular motions just above that line. Now we're going to do yellow. I'm going to fill in all those little white areas with that bright yellow. And then we're going to do that bright yellow just underneath that shadow we did up here. And then kind of like a transition line just underneath that highlight. It's gonna see, is there any white? And it's more of a cream color than a highlight. So we're gonna lightly go over with some cream. Very pale yellow. And I think I'm also going to add that cream just above that shadow, just underneath that window. Now we're going to work on the back door. I think I'm going to work on the entirety of that back door. Like just from the window. And now we're going from light to dark. I don't see any white. And so therefore we are going to do a very light layer of cream. So very light pressure. You won't be able to see it right now with the camera, but it is there. So just holding the end of the pencil and using circular motions. You want to try to preserve that little stripe that goes across. Preserve every section that's more of a silver, but is silver. And then just go over it with that cream color, where the yellow areas are, light circular motions. Now we're going to go in with yellow, and we're going to preserve those the highlights that are very bright. So this one right here, we're not going to color over that. It's very light pressure. We're just trying to block in and build, well, block in where the colors are going to be and build up the colors slowly. And there's a bit of a highlight that goes across here. I'm going to preserve that. And again, just light pressure, circular motions, and holding the end of the pencil. Try to keep your pencils nice and sharp. It makes it easier for creating nice, smooth textures. Okay, now we're doing a more yellow than orange tone or color. We're starting to do more of the shadows. Just light pressure, circular motions, and holding the pencil at the end, using the side of the pencil. Okay, now the more orange than yellow color. Just light pressure and circular motions. And we're just mapping out the shadows and highlights. And also building up the right colors. Okay, it is time for a break. So stretch out your legs, go grab a cup of coffee, and then we'll come back. Whew. I'm very tired, I'm so sorry. We'll come back and we'll chat for a little bit and then get back to drawing. So it's a good time to start thinking about questions. I'm sorry. This always happens. I forget to turn on the volume again. Anyways, short version of what I just said anyways is I want to know what you guys want me to do in future videos. We do have a couple of requests. Mural maker, which it will be a little bit hard to set up just because of the way that I set up this room for cameras and stuff, but I can at least show you how to set it up. And pastel portraits. I have an idea from myself, which is doing a colored pencil drawing of whatever sort with Crayola pencils. So, yeah. It looks like you use 2 phones and a tablet and your smart TV. Yeah, I use 1 phone for the actual app, which is all that you need for setup. Especially if you're doing small pieces, you just need 1 phone and a cup or something to place it on. You don't need a phone stand. If you're doing larger pieces, I recommend connecting it to a smart TV, streaming it onto a smart TV, so you can have the phone up higher, which means you can see more of the drawing surface. I have another phone for my reference image when I'm doing colored pieces, which is not necessary. Like, you can just look at the strobe feature, how it goes back and forth for you to see what colors you need to use. So that's optional. But also, I do have Android as well, so if you want me to do a video of how to use an Android and do a piece with an Android, let me know. Or a tablet, if you want to learn how to do a use a tablet with the app, I can do that too. So, yeah. My skills, my professional skills, are with pencil work, which is graphite and colored pencil. But because of having to do ads for the Vinci Eye App and keeping things interesting, I have dabbled in a lot of different mediums. So woodworking, stained glass paint, painting on fabric, wood burning. Not a laptop. I don't use a laptop for the app itself. I just use the laptop for streaming so I can see the comments. But if you have a purpose for a laptop, then you use the laptop. There's a bunch of different ways to set up your art space to use the app. And it is pouring right now. Okay, slow down. That was a lot of rain at once, from what I can see. Okay, if you guys need additional help that requires a one-on-one, I am more than happy to help you. I can do a live video with you and I won't charge you at all. It's completely 100% free for me to help you with the setup. Also, if you do not have the app and want to try the app for free for a year before you buy, send me an email. My email's in the description. And tell me if you have an iOS or an Android, and I will get you the promo code. Please email me. It is very hard to send emails and links through comments. And plus each code is personalized for you. So if I post the promo code in the comments, somebody can take that promo code, use it, and then it's no longer valid for you. So please, 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 please email me. We are doing an art competition on the Vinci Eye App Facebook group, and you have the end. At the end of the month is the last, is the end cut, the cutoff for entry. The first place will get $100 US, second and third place will get $50 US. I don't care where you're from, as long as you can use PayPal or e-transfer from Canada, because I'm from Canada. You can still enter in to win. So that's also through my email, but more information on that is on the Facebook group. So join the Facebook group. I think that's it. That's it. That's all I need to say. So let's get back to the drawing. It's gotten louder in here now. Oh no, don't get mad at the citizens of the US. No, I'm not getting, no, it's not the people, okay? It's not the people. I have, my aunts and uncles are all in the United States, and my cousins too. Yeah. And then also the developer and the rest of the team are all from the United States, and they are wonderful people. Absolutely wonderful people. We're just building up that color slowly. And then we're going to go in with the orange. Just light circular motions and holding the edge of the paper. Do you like living up there? Yeah, I do like living up here. I don't like really living in the town that I'm in right now, because it's too close knit. And lots of gossipers. It drives me nuts. But that's just the town. That's not Canada. just lightly building up, layer on layer, to just slowly get that nice vibrant color and the right color built up. I am in a borderline desert. It's not nearly as bad as most deserts. It's and I'm in the middle of a bunch of hills. So it's not really the prettiest place that I live, but I'm really close to a national park, which that's really pretty. Yeah, it depends on where you live in Canada, because like BC is gorgeous, but I'm not from BC. Okay, now we're gonna go in with that warm brown. Just light circular motions, slowly building up, because you want to do very light layers. That way we can add more color as needed and adjust the color if it needs to be adjusted. There's one thing that got me a little frustrated is I paid for mailing. I got the thing and I'm sending it to my boss. And so I paid for it, and then it came back and it says that I need to pay taxes for it. And then it'll be sent out. And then they also wrecked the side of it too, which makes me upset. My boss is from the United States and I'm from Canada, and that has never happened to me before. So that kind of frustrates me. Okay, now we're gonna start, I think they call it varnishing. And we're gonna go into the darkest little areas, and then we're gonna add quite a bit of color, putting quite a bit of pressure on it. Not too much. We don't want to break the lead, and we also don't want to dent our paper. So you just got to be very careful with that. Actually, what I need to do is I need to draw out these lines with the black pencil. So let's do that. What does that sound? I'm just trying to get them as straight as possible with my free hand, but you could also use the ruler for part of it. It is a little bit curved because of the shape of the door. So, but the bottom part is straight all the way through. So we can use the ruler for that part. We're just gonna mark the one side. And then we already have the mark on the other, but let's just make sure it is lined up good. And then we're going to take our ruler. And we're just adding that black line. And then we can go and refine. Well, yeah. We can go and refine, or not refine, but like build up the colors to make them really vibrant. I'm going to add that warm brown in between the two black lines here. And then that little triangular shape here, I'm going to add that just around the edges of that. Just give it more depth to it. I don't want my coffee to go cold, so I'm drinking it here and there. Okay, now we're going to use the orange. You can go over those dark spaces we shaded before. Actually, I'm going to need to add a little bit more of that light warm brown over on the bottom here. So we can go over those dark areas, adding a little bit more color, making it a little bit more vibrant. And this will also help kind of blend in the colors to make them more cohesive. Okay. Now I'm gonna go and use the more orange than yellow pencil. And I'm going to fill in those dark areas a little bit more, trying to really fill in all the little white gaps as much as possible. I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow underneath that stripe. So here's a fun little fact about the people behind this app, or this app. They were invited to go on to Shark Tank. They were on Shark Tank. They liked the app, but they weren't sure how they were going to make money off of it. Like, yeah. So the sharks did not bite. Okay, we're using the more yellow than orange pencil, and we're just going to add a little bit to that in those dark areas as well. So just trying to fill in all those little white gaps without breaking the lead and without denting the paper. We're just trying to fill in all those little gaps. And then now we're going to use the yellow. We're going to fill in the rest. Well, leaving the highlights alone. So I'm just adding kind of like a transition color between that shadow and the highlight, using that yellow. And I'm going to take that, I kind of missed a spot on this side. I'm still going to use that yellow and add it to a bit of that highlight too. Not all of it, not all of the highlight, just a little bit. And then we're going to go in with the cream and we're going to do the rest because there isn't a there's no white in these highlights. It looks like it stopped raining. That was a random rainstorm. Just random, very short. Okay, now we're working on the trunk, the back side of the car here. And we're trying to preserve the silver spots of the car. There's a bit of a yellow spot that I missed. That's around the wheel here. So we're going to work on that. So I'm just taking the cream color and I'm just going to start blocking it out a little bit. Just using light pressure. We don't want to put too much pressure. So holding the very end of the pencil, just tight, light circular motions. You want to be able to have the option of adding more layers to adjust the color and also to help with the blending technique. And we can also adjust a little bit with the shape if we're just doing light pressure. Get an extra entertainment from the background noise. Can I translate this? I am not, I only know English. It'd be awesome if I can learn other languages. I would really be happy if I can learn other languages, but I don't have the time. I know it looks like I'm not doing anything, but I am. I am doing quite a bit. It's just this color's so light that the camera can't pick it up. Now we're going into yellow. And at this point, I'm just preserving the highlights and working more on like the solid base color and the shadows. So still using light circular pressure with, well, light pressure circular motions. I'm trying to make less words make sense. You know what I wish didn't disappear? At the end of each live, when it's uploaded, all the comments get disappear. So I won't be able to go back and translate and answer questions. But if you comment after when the video is uploaded, then the comment will stay and I can read them. So just slowly building up the layers, trying to do light pressure and circular motions. And we're working on everything but the highlights at this point. I'm just gonna see if I can translate some of this with my phone. For some reason, there is a feature on my phone that will allow me to translate, but I don't know how to use it at this very moment. No, I don't know where it went to. Sorry, I was still fiddling around with my phone. Just trying to see if I can translate that comment. You know what's a little bit funny? My daughter uses mama, the word mama, for everybody. It could be my husband, it could be my brother, it could be the lifeguard at the pool. Any adult for my daughter is mama. So just light circular motions, holding the end of the pencil. Now we're doing the more yellow than orange pencil. Just light pressure and circular motions, holding the end of the pencil, using the side of the pencil, not the tip. And we're doing our best to preserve those little silver areas on the car. Okay, now the more orange than yellow pencil. Light pressure and circular motions. Just repeating ourselves over and over again. It's a slow process, so practice your patience. And now we're doing orange. My arm's getting stripey. It's getting stripey from the pressure of the little lip of the table. There. You see it? No, you don't even see it. My two kids are absolutely quiet when they're apart. They are very easygoing and chill children by themselves, but as soon as the two get together, they just run the house. And we're going to take that warm brown color. We're going to do those really dark areas. Still just doing some circular motions and light pressure. We're almost ready to start building up more of the vibrant colors or vibrant layers. So I'm just gonna finish this layer and then we'll call it a day. Okay, there it is. We are done for today. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pretty good live, actually. Got quite a few people watching. But yeah, if you want to try the app for free for a year, please send me an email. I'll give you a promo code. And yeah, thanks for joining. I love all the support, even if it is just watching and no comments. They are amazing. Subscribe if you want to see more of these things. And also, I'm available at any time to help you out. So just find me on Facebook, the Facebook group, and I can help you out with anything. You guys have a